So here we are, sitting at a bus stop in the rain at 5 in the morning. This had better be good. Howdy there, Young and Silver Mongoose here, back again with another quick video for you guys. What I wanted to do was a little bit of a Portland Retro Gaming Expo wrap-up. I know a lot of people are doing these, but I've never done something like this before, and the Retro Gaming Expo was really awesome for me, and I really enjoyed the experience, and I just wanted to talk about that a little bit. Even if I don't post it or post the whole thing, I kind of wanted to use it as a bit of a journal for myself because I enjoyed the weekend so much. I was originally thinking about doing a video about it, you know, recording the whole thing, and that piece at the beginning is as far as I got. I ended up just feeling that, you know what, I want to be there, I want to experience everything. I don't want to have my camera out and think, okay, how's this shot going to look, this is how that part is going to be inside the video. I felt like that would have kind of taken away from my experience, so I want to talk a little bit about my experiences and then also talk about the stuff that I got. So the first night was a lot of fun. I ended up going to Ground Control, which is this great barcade in Portland. I met a bunch of YouTubers for the first time just waiting in line. I met Games31, I met Jason Heine, I met Pete Dorr. Then we went inside, I got some drinks, played some arcade games. I met Vintage Video Game Geek in there, as well as NES Complex, and we just kind of sat around a table and we talked about Star Trek and Star Wars and all sorts of nerdy things. And I just had a real blast with all those guys. It was weird because we never had met before, but you know, me and Gamester shook hands, we sat down and was just instantly talking like we knew each other for years. Just instantly comfortable. It was fantastic. So the next day I went to a couple of panels, one with Tom Kalinske, Al Nielsen, and Scott Chandler, who all used to work at Sega of America back in the 16-bit days. And they basically just told some war stories, you know, whenever they were fighting Nintendo. They talked about blast processing and the birth of Sonic the Hedgehog and all sorts of really great kind of insider information and cool stories that you would only hear really from guys that were there back in the day. I also went to a panel later on that featured Keith Robinson, who's the current president of Intellivision Productions, and he talked about, you know, working in Intellivision back in the day and the games he used to work with. I asked him about the Cablevision and all sorts of, again, just cool stories that you would only hear from people who used to work there back in the day, real first-hand stuff. That day I also met a slew of awesome people. I met Curtis and Leia from Girlfriend Versus, I met Aaron and Ricky from Retro Liberty, and this great-looking duo. There's just so many good-looking people at this convention. Just check out this picture I took of Vintage Video Game Geek. So handsome. And then at dinner, I met even more people. I met Super Derek and his wife. I met Billy Mack from The Game Room. I met Wood from Beat 'em Ups. What's really funny is actually at dinner, Wood told one of the people there that he was PewDiePie, and we were all really awesome YouTubers, and they were super excited. And we kind of felt bad, but it was also really funny. Everyone here that I'm mentioning, they were all just amazing, wonderful people, and I'm actually going to list all of their channels if they have any at the end of the video. They're all definitely worth checking out. And that night, I was in the hallway talking with Retro Robbie, a friend of mine, and I heard a song going on in the concert, and I knew that song, and I went in there, and there was this awesome performer. His name is Josiah, and he has a channel here on YouTube, and coincidentally, I had just subscribed to his channel that Thursday, just found him randomly on YouTube, and commented on his video, told him I really liked it, and here he was at the Portland Retro Gaming Expo, and he's a really awesome performer. He does a really chill, laid-back style. He does a lot of, you know, classical guitar. The stuff that I really love that he does is he adds lyrics to some songs like Piranha Plant Lullaby or some awesome ones from Chrono Trigger, and he does it so well. He has such a beautiful voice and such great playing and such thoughtful and meaningful lyrics. And actually has some of his music playing in the background right now. I asked him if I could play some, and he said that was great. So definitely check him out. I'm going to again post a link to his stuff at the end of this video. He also has an album, and you should check that out as well. The second day I started off by going to the Retro Liberty and NES Complex panel, and they just talked for a few minutes, and then went into basically a game where you were just listening to video game music and guessing what they were. And I went into line, and I was not doing too great guessing the ones ahead of me. I knew a few, but for the most part they were from games I hadn't played. And then I went up there, and then Aaron's like, "Ah, Silver Mongoose, you have the honor of being the first one that has just sound effects." What?
I did it this morning. My brother got it.
Oh, well.
This is sound effects only, so this might be hard. It's coming. Just wait. There's going to be one sound effect that's going to give it away. If you don't know it, you just don't know it. Wait. If you don't know it by that, you ain't going to know it. I see a few people behind me that know it. They're shaking their fists.
It's okay, I didn't know.
Take a guess. It looked like you were about to say it. That's it! Yeah. Good job.
And I actually got it. And I went up there and ended up getting Hydro Thunder on the 64 for free for that, and that's great because I've never played this game. I've heard so much about it. At the end of the panel, there was also Anticipation, which nobody wanted on the NES, which is kind of funny because there was a few times where I accidentally blurted out answers like to Knights and Choo Choo Rocket because I was so excited that I knew and almost no one else in the room knew, but it looks like it's fun to play for a round or two. It'll be fun. I also went to the All Gen Gamers panel later on and ended up getting a free copy of GoldenEye 007, which is really cool. A lot of the day I actually spent playing some arcade games with my friends, Carrie and my new pal Kyle, aka Mega Steak Man. We just wandered around, looked at art that people were selling, and played the arcade. There was tons and tons of arcade games, and even though there were lots of people there, people just played a round or two and then left. You know, there were tons of great fighting games, and there was a Baby Pac-Man, which is super cool, a Pac-Man Jr., Joust, and Wizards of War, all sorts of really cool stuff. That night at dinner, I met even more awesome people. I met the Portlandian from Stumptown Retro, who was just fantastic, super nice guy, and I need to give him some props because, as his name suggests, he's from Portland, and he was really great in, you know, giving us suggestions of where to go and how to take transit, and just an all-around fantastic guy. I also met Alpha Mega Sin for the first time, another super cool dude. Then we went to Ground Control, played some games for a while, then went to Voodoo Donuts, which everybody had been mentioning in their videos last year and the year before, so we went there and had some really delicious donuts, which I think actually the Portlandian bought for us. So another reason to thank him. And that was a really great way to end the weekend. Just kind of casual, really having fun, relaxing. And on the train ride home, for some reason Wood's plans went through and he had to actually take the train with us, which was fantastic. I sat beside him and sat with Mega Steak Man and Rob Man and Happy Console Gamer, and we just had a blast, just basically talking for 5 hours straight, just about, you know, Zelda and Silent Hill and all sorts of cool stuff, and the time just flew by. And over the weekend, I also got to obviously see some people I don't see that often. I got to see Retro Robbie, like I mentioned, Happy Console Gamer, Rob Man, Ryan King, Metal Jesus Rocks, Chris Fanner. And this is something that's being expressed by everybody who was there, is that everyone that you met was so amazing and so kind. Even people like Super Derek and his wife, or Wood, where we both had YouTube channels, but we didn't know each other's stuff. There was no weirdness. There was just like instant openness and kindness and awesomeness, and it didn't matter whether you had, you know, 250,000 subscribers or 5 subscribers or no channel, no subscribers at all, just random people that you meet. Everybody was so kind. And what's kind of bad about meeting all these awesome, super kind, smart, funny people is that a lot of them are my subscribers now. And I kind of have to step up my game because I don't want to let them down. And I know I'm name dropping like crazy here, but I'm sure I've forgotten somebody. And I'm very sorry. I feel very bad about forgetting you. I'm sure a lot of people forgot me too. So about the actual games I picked up, I wasn't there looking for anything rare, just kind of wanting to pad out my collection a bit because I knew rare stuff was going to be really expensive. I did have a few uncommon things in mind. I didn't take the tags off most of these things yet. I have tried most of them out and they all seem to work fine. Other than 1 or 2 items, I did not pay what these people asked for. I bartered everything down. And a lot of these prices aren't amazing, but if you look at American eBay prices, I paid basically below that for almost every one of these. Canadian prices are higher, our dollar's worth less, and our shipping is much higher as well. So I actually ended up getting a pretty good deal on everything here. So the first thing I got was Kirby Air Ride, and for those who looked at my White Whales of Gaming, this was on that list. and I've been looking for years, and the only 3 copies I'd ever seen in the wild all had no manuals. And lo and behold, the first 2 copies of this game that I find at the Expo, no manuals. I have no idea why this keeps happening with Kirby Air Ride, but everybody wanted 30 for it, even with no manual. It's typically what you pay online as well. I saw this for 25, and then I also saw WarioWare Inc., which I've been looking for a long time as well, for 20. I told him I'd give him 40 for it, and he was cool with that. I ended up finding some 360 games and one Xbox game, all for $3. Halo 3, LA Noire, Assassin's Creed 2, and Ninja Gaiden. I also found Boktai and Golden Sun. I bought both of these for $25 total, which is pretty good. Boktai is really cool because it uses the sun, it has a light sensor to play, and Golden Sun I've always wanted. I borrowed this from a friend many years ago, and I haven't played it since. On the very last day, I got a bunch of NES games, most of them all on recommendations by Retro Robbie. These were $3 each, I believe. Milo and Secret Castle, Zexel, I guess, Jackal, Zoda's Revenge, Star Tropics 2, and The Adventures of Dino Ricky. And before I forget, I also bought this cool Robo shirt, so I like it because it's nerdy, it's got little robots on it, and Robo, and if you don't play Chrono Trigger, it's still a kind of artsy shirt. And then I got some 64 games. These all roughly came to about $5. Tonic Trouble, which I played a demo of on the PC back when it came out, and I haven't played it since. I've been looking for that for a long time. Another copy of Pokemon Snap, Mickey Speedway USA, Vigilante 8, which was a total blast whenever I was a kid. I have not played it since its release back in the day. I'm really looking forward to that. Glover, Star Wars Episode Racer, a very impressive game. You don't need to like Star Wars Episode 1 to like this game. I love the physics that they have, especially on the ships with them hovering, the different pieces disconnecting, and a lot of fun. I remember as a kid playing that, and we'd purposely break one of the engines and see how long we could survive with just one of them, and Cruis'n USA. And then one game I've been wanting for years and I've never played was Pokemon Stadium 2. Typically this is about a $30 game. I found this copy for $25, and that was because somebody had written on the top, but I actually tested it out, and I can pretty much rub it off even with my thumb. So $25 for this is a pretty good deal. He also had Mystic Quest for $10, so I asked him if he would do $30 for both. He said, how about $32? And then I saw this kind of beat up copy of Pro Skater 2 for $2, and I said, will you throw that in too? And he said, alright. So I got all 3 of these for $32, which is an amazing deal. Another one of my white whales that I ended up getting was Strike Gunner on the Super Nintendo. There were only 2 copies there at the whole expo, and the other one was $30, which was way too much for me. This one was only $15. I think I ended up getting it for a little bit less, and that's because obviously it's kind of torn and beaten up. It works perfectly fine. I know we would all like minty fresh games complete in box, but you know what I really want to do is just play the game, and this will do for now. Maybe someday I'll find a much nicer copy. I also found an e-reader for $3. I've wanted one of these for a while. I do have one, but it's sealed in this big package that I'm hoping to sell one day. I didn't find any cards though. And like I mentioned earlier, Keith Robinson from Intellivision was there, and I had to look through the entire expo to find his game, which was Tron Solar Sailor, but it was in a bundle, so I had to get them to take it out of the bundle for me, and then I had to find a silver pen to get him to sign that, and then I also found the manual, so I got him to sign that, and it says Intellivision Forever on it, which is pretty cool. And honestly, probably the best deal that I got money-wise was actually a sealed copy of Super Mario 3D World, which I don't own, a fantastic game, and some girl was selling it for $40, which is really good. Another guy ahead of me in line was looking at the game, and she said, how about $35? He said, nah, he walked away. I walked up. Yeah, I'll take that for $35. Even used copies usually sell for more than $35. One thing that kind of bums me out is it's actually a not-for-resale version, so it doesn't have a Club Nintendo code in it, which kind of bums me out. I do like having those codes so I can get the prizes and stuff at the end of the year, especially for games that I did buy brand new, but you know what? You can't have everything. So there you have all the games that I picked up at the Portland Retro Gaming Expo. I had a fantastic time, met so many amazing people. the kindest, most welcoming, most chill community. I'm so happy to be even a very small part of it. And the convention was just fantastic, lots of great sellers. Even though there was reportedly about 8,000 people there, it still felt very small, very chill. Tons of arcade games to play with almost no lineups, just fantastic. Amazing community. If you can make it out at some point, please make the effort to do so. You will not regret it. This has been Silver Mongoose Videos, and remember, classic gaming never gets old. So click here to see the channels of some of the amazing people that I met, and click here to head over to Josiah's channel and check out some of his amazing music.